The WNBA is in full-blown crisis mode, and it all traces back to one name, Caitlin Clark. For months, she wasn't just the face of the Indiana Fever, she was the heartbeat of the entire league. Every packed arena, every record-breaking ESPN broadcast, every viral highlight was tied to her. And when she went down with a season-ending injury, the WNBA and the Fever did everything they could to delay the inevitable truth. They sat on the announcement, let fans cling to false hope of a late-season return, and milked every ounce of momentum until the bubble burst.
And when it did, the fallout was catastrophic.
From the very day the injury went public, interest didn't just decline, it collapsed. Overnight, ticket sales tanked, resale prices plummeted, and arenas that once buzzed with Clark mania turned into ghost towns. Before the announcement, Indiana Fever playoff tickets were projected to hit nearly $1,000. Afterward, they were down 30%, averaging $62 a seat. And even worse, fans who had already bought tickets stopped showing up altogether. Nearly 3,000 paid ticket holders in Baltimore didn't even bother attending.
That's not a small dip in interest. That's betrayal. Fans bought in because they thought Caitlin Clark was the show.
When she disappeared, so did they. And here's where the WNBA revealed just how desperate it has become. Their solution wasn't to own up to the dependency on Clark or build new narratives around other stars. No, they forced Indiana to move games to Atlanta, as if a change of scenery could trick fans into caring again. Let's be real, that's not strategy. That's panic. Atlanta isn't exactly a WNBA hotbed. The Dream themselves have struggled for years to fill arenas. So why would Indiana, without their superstar, magically draw there? The answer is simple: optics. The WNBA doesn't want cameras panning across empty rows in Indiana. If they can shuffle tickets to corporate sponsors in Atlanta or comp out half the arena, at least the broadcasts won't look like funerals.
It's not about fans. It's about hiding the collapse. The numbers don't lie.
Before her injury, Fever matchups against Angel Reese's Sky pulled 2.7 million viewers, better than some MLB primetime games. After the injury, Fever vs. Mystics barely scratched 270,000.
Fever vs. Lynx? Just over 1 million.
Even marquee matchups in so-called big markets like New York or Las Vegas cratered, with ratings dipping to the 100,000 to 200,000 range. That's YouTube influencer territory.
Some high school championships draw better numbers.
And yet, ESPN and league officials still spin graphics about record growth. Growth?
Clark's highlights were the growth.
Without her, the WNBA product looks flat and irrelevant to casual fans.
And you know who feels it most? The players.
When Clark was on the floor, every possession felt like an event. Every foul call brought playoff-level energy.
Now, you can hear sneakers squeak louder than the crowd.
Players like Angel Reese are visibly sulking, sitting out with tightness, or publicly clashing with their teams. The aura is gone, and deep down, the players know it. Their checks looked bigger because of Clark.
Without her, those checks shrink. This is Kathy Engelbert's nightmare.
She bet the house on proving the league could expand beyond one player, all while depending on that one player more than anyone admitted.
Now the truth is undeniable.
The WNBA doesn't just have a Caitlin Clark problem, it has a Caitlin Clark addiction.
She was the oxygen tank. Pull her out, and the room goes silent. Let's zoom out. Sports leagues have always leaned on stars.
The NBA had Jordan, then Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Curry. The NFL transitioned from Brady to Mahomes. MLB moved from Jeter to Trout and Ohani.
Stars are the currency of sports.
But here's the difference: those leagues knew how to build multiple storylines at once. When Jordan left, there was someone else ready to carry the torch. When Brady slowed down, Mahomes stepped up. The WNBA? It put every single chip on Clark while pretending it didn't. So now, instead of a next star up moment, there's an empty stage.
The hypocrisy makes it worse.
Media outlets lecture fans that they should support women's basketball no matter what, with campaigns guilt-tripping audiences to support women's sports.
But guilt doesn't sell tickets.
Guilt doesn't draw TV audiences. Entertainment does.
Caitlin Clark brought that entertainment. Without her, fans are tuning out. Period.
And here's the million-dollar question. What happens next year if Clark isn't 100% right away?
Do ratings crater again?
Do they scramble to move even more games to neutral venues? Or do they finally admit what fans already know, that without her, the league runs on fumes? This Atlanta stunt is nothing more than rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Sure, the chairs look different, but the ship is still sinking.
Fans aren't fooled.
The Baltimore no-shows, the half-empty arenas, the TV ratings that have cratered into oblivion, those are fans voting with their feet and their remotes. They are not sticking around for guilt trips or PR campaigns. They wanted Caitlin Clark, and without her, the WNBA has been exposed. At this point, the league isn't the Women's National Basketball Association. It's the Clark National Basketball Association. Without her, the lights go out. They can shuffle arenas, spin numbers, and parade around talking points, but the receipts don't lie. Caitlin Clark is the sun. And without her, the WNBA is in the dark.